It's Friday morning. I have a special guest today. I'm so excited. And I'm going to be bringing her on. Let me see how I do this. Yeah, there she is. Hi, good morning. Okay, let me see how I can do this. I can, um, I'm trying to get my guest, Sonia. She is here. I see you. And now I just need to figure out how to add her. This is newer for me. I've only had one other person join with me before. And so, yes, here we go. I see the request. Connecting with Sonia. Let's see. I accepted it. Okay. There it is. Hello.
Hello.
I'm so excited to do this with you today. Thank you so much.
Oh my God. So am I. I was so unprepared. I'm still putting this thing in a thing
That's
because I
okay.
am very new to the Facebook collaboration. I did it years ago. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God, how am I going to do it? I hope I don't spoil the whole tech thing with. So here we are, and I'm going to put my mic on as well. So my
Okay.
volume is better.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, same. I have been telling myself I was going to do collaborations for months, and then finally did,
Yeah.
Jen's speaker training, and
Yes.
she challenged us. She was like, "Just go live," and she
Yes.
makes it look so easy. I mean, if anyone's watched Jen Gottlieb's lives, okay, she makes it look so easy. She's been doing it for so long, right?
Which is also so good. So it's like,
Yes.
oh my God, I'm gonna be so lame, because but you know what they say, don't compare your beginning to somebody else's middle. So
Exactly.
I have to
Exactly.
remember that.
I do too. And so she challenged us to go live just 3 times in 1 week, and I got addicted. I'm like in love with it. I'm learning so much. I'm pushing myself to like put together like talks, and then I decided to add like collaborations and like see who in my network wants to join me on a collaboration. So thank you so much for doing this with me today.
Oh, I'm so excited. I've been going live every day too. I'm hooked too.
Great.
So I love it. I love that you and I get to do this together. And thank you so much for inviting me. Maybe
Yeah.
I can do that too if you're up for it, right?
I'd love to. I would love
Yes.
to anytime. Have you found a time of day that works for you? Like for me, it's been very difficult because I'm brand new to this, but like going live in your day, right? In your day to day, this is not just like batch content creation.
Yeah. Yeah,
This is
I know.
live.
You actually have to be there.
And you
So,
have to like be focused, right?
I was looking at how Jen does it because I was
Mhm.
like, hey, you know what? Let's just see what actually works with other people. And wait, I think I can share this with other people too. Let me see if I can do that. Anyone watching could.
Great.
Anyway, I don't know how to do that. But and what I'm really saying is that what I do is that whenever I'm doing my makeup on,
Yeah.
that's when I just do it. So
Yeah.
sometimes I'm up in the morning writing my book. So I'm in like I'm like in a hoodie that's like I tie the thing over here. So,
Yeah.
I would be scary for anyone. My husband gets scared. He's like, what happened to you? He's like, who is this man who's in my house?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, yes, this is how I write my book. Okay, I need to hide in here.
Yeah, I get it. It's
But
vulnerable. Yeah.
then later on, when I'm going to be ready to be presentable to the world and to serve people, then I get ready, and that's when I would do my makeup. And it's different every time. And sometimes it's such a rush because the writing takes too long, and so
Mhm.
I will not do it while I'm getting ready. I'll do it another time. But I
Yeah.
try to keep that commitment every
Yeah.
day, once a day. But
Yes.
I like this better. I like the one you're doing better because people can then count on seeing you at noon.
That's kind of what I was thinking. That's kind of what I was
Yes.
thinking. Because it's nine, I've been doing it 9:30 my time. And then if I do a
Okay.
collaboration or something, like I've been trying between 9 o'clock my time or 10 o'clock my time. So giving people the option, because it's hard to like get people collaborate with their
What
time.
time zone are you in? What is that?
I'm in Los Angeles, so I'm in Pacific
Okay, you're my
time.
Cali girl. Okay,
That's right.
wonderful.
That's right. Yay.
And I'm in New Jersey. It's not as,
Okay.
but
Yeah, yeah,
we're close
exactly.
to New York, so we're a little bit cool, okay?
That's right. That's right. I did 2 years in New York City. So
Yeah.
I find that people in LA, when you ask them the question like, or they say, I did 2 years in New York. I don't know if you noticed, but I say I did like a full sentence, like we did time.
That's so funny.
And
I
I,
didn't notice that, but now I do. Yes.
yeah, and I swear to you, people in LA say it like that. Like they don't even mean to. It's constant. It does not matter.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
randomness of like being at some of it, being anywhere in the city, and I guarantee they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I did 5 years in New York." Like,
Yeah. But also, I have to say that there is something about the energy of New York and youth and being a young person, a young professional, where you want to be on that ride.
yes,
It's like,
exactly,
I
exactly.
did that ride.
I did it. I did that. Yes, and I tell everyone do it. Like you have to have
Yeah.
lived in New York one time.
Yeah.
I really recommend it. It's just, it's its own thing.
Mhm.
But thank you so much for coming today. So I have like a couple questions that just
Yes.
like spark some conversation. But
Yes.
I talk on my channel about business and like business fundamentals and building businesses. And so I'm curious when you like your background, like did you start, are you a serial entrepreneur? Did you always start as an entrepreneur? Did you start in corporate and then transition to owning your own business? And like kind of what's that story of becoming the badass entrepreneur that you are now?
Yeah, so I didn't start with my business. I wasn't one of those courageous people. I just wanted to work, and I had this dream where it's going to be very passionate, and I'll get to really, live through but as a psychologist, I did all of my degrees. I did two masters, and the reason I did my two masters is because I was so scared of working. I'm going to be very honest. One master's was totally enough. I was like, my friend was like, let's do a second one. And I'm like, I did not care about doing a second one. I wasn't a nerd like her, but I was like, wait, I'm going to get to not work one more year. But when I did start working, that dream kind of fell through because it seemed to me that the organization that I was working for, which had a gorgeous mission of serving underpopulated families, is that every time I would start to really make a difference in the lives of the children and the families, they would either remove that kid or it would be like don't do anymore. Like it was almost, to me it seemed like I was going to create really beautiful notes that would represent that we can keep getting the grant. And I just it kind of killed my soul a little bit.
Mhm.
So that's something that happened. And then the second thing that happened is that my subject was always relationships. And um, I was before I had my degrees. I mean, I still am. I still, any good therapist and coach has to get their own therapy and coaching. When I did go to marriage counseling for my own relationship and one-on-one counseling regarding my relationship, because I had early on in my life proclaimed to the universe that I want to be the one to learn to love without getting hurt. And so the universe gave me a lot of material. He was like, oh, you don't say. Where you go? So I had like a lot of material to work with, but I saw that there were therapists who were saying that they're marriage therapists. They were just therapists that were married,
Mhm.
and they would always stay in the mental piece of it, but never go where the healing was.
Mhm.
So in the very beginning, I had decided that I'm not going to work for an organization because I'm not willing to do that type of work. I started my practice, and I also wanted to have a flexibility of schedule.
Yeah.
And I did not, if you work for an agency as a therapist, you see 22 clients in one day. So what kind of a lifestyle do you have? Like, you are not somebody, let's say that you got into that thing like most people do because you had a heart for helping. You can't help others unless you've helped yourself. You don't have time to help yourself. You're like a machine. You're like a puppy mill. So I was like, no, I can't do that. And I
Yeah.
had the flexibility not to do that because I had already, when I went to grad school, I already had three children. And like a marriage, which, with all the social calendars, and I did a lot of things for the school as well. So what I'm really saying is that I started my practice because I wanted to do it my way. I didn't want anyone to stop me when I started to get to that place. And then later on, even though it took me so many years to get my license, I even got more freedom from the in my work by not no longer working as a therapist and working as a coach, because I only wanted to work with those people who were going to want that transformation, and I didn't want a limitation to how many sessions I can do with them, how deep I can go, what I can share.
Yeah.
And I do share my story. As a therapist, you're not allowed to share your story, because you
Mhm.
you have to, unless it's gonna, you don't really do that. It's not very becoming.
It is so true. I say that to so many people now that I've gone through my own personal journey with therapy, my own personal journey with marriage counseling. I've had all,
Yeah,
those problems too.
yeah,
And I tell people all the time, I'm like, once I also hired my first business coach, I was like, okay, everyone
yeah.
needs a therapist and a business coach.
Yes,
Like,
I agree. I agree. I mean, it's the greatest investment you can make in yourself, because everything that you experience and that comes out of you is then augmented.
yes, yes, and the therapy work is like the childhood trauma, the stuff that you need to deal with. And as an entrepreneur, once you start a business, all of that comes out anyway.
So,
But to be
Rhiannon,
honest,
let me ask you a question. What do you think? Why do you think that somebody who's going to be talking about business and creating with a business that you want and being really successful in it, why would there need to be a mindset change? What is the link? Why do you say you need both?
so for me, coming from corporate, so I grew up with like this ideal dream that if I got a corporate job, I would be able to like have a retirement. Now, maybe not
Yeah,
a pension. I'm not old enough where like I
yeah,
actually believed I was getting a pension, but I believed it would be like I would grow in this ladder. I would climb that ladder. I would break those glass ceilings. I was gonna go through corporate all the way, and I did it for like 20 years. I climbed this ladder, and I finally just was like it's not it's there is no glass ceiling. There is no retirement. There is no, kind of like you were saying, 20 clients in a day. Like, it was just a hamster wheel. There was no ladder. It was a wheel. And I had to get off that wheel. And the second I stepped off that wheel, I will say two things. I was transitioning to becoming a mom.
yeah,
So I was going through that, as well as deciding to start my own business because I had to sort of make this shift or change in my life. But when I got off that wheel, I was broken, like broken. Like, I had to figure out, postpartum depression. I had to work through my own emotional, chaos of childhood. Like, I had these things that I had been working on for a while. And then whenever you start your own business, you have to believe in yourself. Like, there's so much of believing that you have something there, and what you're trying to sell is yourself, not somebody else's product, not somebody else's company. Like, it's yourself. And so once I hired that business coach, it flipped things for me, because it wasn't so much focusing on like the childhood trauma and like, healing my brain and my soul. It was like the empowerment side of it. It was like the coaching of the business really helped me step into my power, like really believe in myself in
yeah,
another level that I
yeah,
just wasn't tapping into just through standard therapy. I mean,
yeah,
they're fucking amazing, and you have to like,
yeah,
there's a lot of that, but that mindset shift, the duality, I find that, like you were saying, in therapy, it's not as much sharing their story or feeling like you're connect or getting tactical
yeah,
work or advice. And in business coaching, that's what it's about. It's like,
yeah,
it's tactical, it's stories, it's like feeling not alone, and a community of people. And so there's like all these layers that I found through business coaching that like opened my life, that was like, okay, I
yeah.
see why this is very helpful, in addition to all that work that I did before. Because if
Yeah.
I hadn't done that, that would have been even harder. So I think that the two complement each other. They're different, but they complement each other. That's my experience.
Yeah, I really hear you, and you're absolutely right. I mean, the difference between therapy and coaching is that in therapy, you're to figure out your own answers, and it's not as led. So I don't think that I think good coaching also asks the right questions to for a person to figure out their own answers, but the practitioner does not have to be that active.
Right.
They can be a lot more passive in this, and the person who's more active is the client. And here there's a partnership, and there is I always say an equal amount of I question them, and I challenge them, and I
Mhm.
invite them to do the same to me, to challenge me and to question me. So
Yeah.
it's more of an equal relationship. And of course, there's leadership. If I'm
Yeah.
not able to lead in a relationship, then the person whom I'm serving isn't going to benefit. That leadership doesn't mean that they can't challenge me.
Right.
And I want them to, because I want to work at my peak. And it's just gorgeous what you share. And it's almost like, and I don't want to be too gender like specific, but it's almost like, when you have children, uh, I always think about it would be a great option. I didn't think about the option of not having children. I didn't know that that was an option. I know that's stupid. I know it's crazy, but that's what happened to me. All right. So I used to secretly really admire and still do the women who decide not to
Yeah.
have children. But when you do, if you are that person who has had children, you get cracked open in a way that you have to reassess things. So what you created from a lot of pain, it's almost like and then when you do have children, you watch them grow. It's almost like you get a second chance at healing what it was that remained unhealed. I don't know. It really does happen. As the children are growing, you're growing with them. It's
Totally.
like a second coming, and your priorities shift in a way. And I would say this for dads too. It depends on how connected people are. A lot of times, and I'm not going to say this is gender specific, a lot of time that primary caretaker, they don't have a choice but to not connect.
Yeah.
So, reality is that we as humans, if we're given the choice, we're not going to put ourselves in any type of an emotional pain enough to change. It'll be bad, but it won't be bad enough to actually make a transformation.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally agree. I totally agree. And yeah, my experience has been very the all the ups and the downs and all the what have yous, but it definitely comes from the hard work of wanting to be better and wanting to move forward and wanting something better for my life and then for my family's life. Like all of that drive, that internal passion has just like always been a part of me. And I think that in entrepreneurship, there is so much more. Like you just kind of have to be that sink or swim mentality. You have to be that in business. Whereas I have seen in corporate people sort of resting on their laurels sort of
Yeah.
mentality, like, oh, I
Yeah.
deserve this promotion, or I deserve this seat at this table, and I deserve these things. And it's kind of, and that entitlement, that's the word I'm looking for, that
Yeah.
entitlement feeling just permeates the organization, and
Yeah.
it can be like a toxicity within the company. And
Yeah.
I have been in those worlds so many time and again, and people with I encounter that, and I butt heads because people
Aha.
don't like Rhiannon coming in and like asking questions and second guessing what we're doing, and like, well, why aren't we doing it this way? It's like, shh,
Yeah.
Rhiannon, like, shh, be quiet. like 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 being in school, and like you just keep asking the questions to the professor, and
Yes.
everybody else just wants to go home, and because like the bell's about to ring, they're like, shut up, Rhiannon.
Yeah, I've been that person myself. I have another question for you, and I usually ask people who have been in corporate settings because there is a mindset that the corporation creates for you, and I want to just check in with you. Like this is my hypothesis, and I'm testing it with you right now. So my thing was that with corporations, they almost give you this weird sense of safety and are maybe not okay with you making mistakes, that it is literally the opposite of what you need to be an entrepreneur. And it's like the entrepreneurial mindset is everything that a corporate mindset is not. Almost like I was watching this one film, and I really wish I'd remembered the name, and it was about um it's about generations of people serving the rich, and almost this mentality where the people who are being served are so so they're so, relaxed in this thing that yes, we are going to keep getting servitude because what they've done is that they've created a mindset of you can't take chances, you failing is terrible, just follow the orders, just stay in line, almost like, I'm thinking about like the cows and that thing. So, do you even understand my question? I don't think it was very clear.
No, that made perfect sense to me coming from
Okay.
corporate and my experience for
Yeah.
decades, like decades of experiencing that exact thing. That is absolutely true. And I do think that the that has permeated corporate culture for forever. And the people who try to sort of stand against that or
Yeah.
try to break the mold, like it's like whack-a-mole, like they just like whack you down, and so
Right.
it becomes a just shut up and do
Yes.
instead of like questioning and growing. So like my entrepreneurial spirit did not do well in those corporate
Yes.
settings because I was
Mm.
always questioning the norm, and then being I love what you said about asking the question about failure. And
Yeah.
I love that so much because that core component of like my upbringing and my soul and like my journey has been overcoming that fear that failure is a part of learning. And I just sort of grew up and believed and like felt so much in my career I could not fail. I could not
Yeah.
fail at something. If I failed at something, I was an absolute loser. Like I
Yeah.
failure meant
The
horrible
end.
things. Like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
end. Like you're
Yeah.
fired, you're out of here, like you
Yeah.
have nothing, you're back to zero. Like failure felt so bad that
Yeah.
I would do anything to avoid
Yes.
that failure. So it was like this concept of like under promise and over deliver. Because if you under promise, then you're never really going to fail. Because
Yes.
that's a phrase. Like that phrase in corporate is like a mantra. Under
Yeah.
promise, over deliver. Under promise, over deliver. Because if you under promise, then you're always over delivering.
I
Yeah. So how are you going to
love
fail
it.
if you always under promise? And
Yeah.
so it didn't teach me how to stretch and how to
Yeah.
set goals and how to think bigger, because in entrepreneurship, it's opposite. If you don't reach high enough, you're
Yeah.
never gonna succeed past where you are. Like
Yeah.
when we set a goal to I like big, I'm gonna make $500,000 this year. Like in entrepreneurship, people are like, that's a good goal. That's where you should set yourself, because it doesn't matter that you don't reach it. The point is that if you don't set 500,000, you're never gonna make 500,000.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
got to set that big ass goal
Yeah.
to get to that. Whereas in corporate, not that way at all. At all. It's like, let's say 100,000, because then if we make 120, then we succeeded. You
Yeah.
see? So you
Yeah.
you max out at 120. You don't ever go over that because you set a low goal for yourself, so you don't fail. Yeah.
Very good. Very, very, that makes complete sense. And so how are you, Rhiannon, with how good are you in failing?
Now,
Making mistakes and failing. How good are you?
now,
It's an
uh,
interesting loaded question. I promise to answer it too.
okay, good. You answered too. I'm like, I love how this interview. No, it's a
Yes.
collaboration. That's why I love it. It's a
Yeah, it's a collab.
collaboration. Um, so for me, it's take these last 2 years. So this last 2 years has been this version of my business. I've had other
Yeah.
businesses, I've had side hustles, but this version of my business has been so much failure. But it's first attempt in learning. That's
Yeah.
what I learned in this
I
version.
love it. This is a
Yes.
really good rephrasing.
Yes. So everything that I failed at, I've just learned, and then I pivot, and then I learn and
Yeah.
then I pivot. And so it's almost like a badge of honor. It wasn't a badge of
Amazing.
honor before. Now it's like, okay, I tried that. That didn't fucking work.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm always trying. I'm always doing something. Honestly, it feels like every week. Like I'm challenging myself to something new every week. And then I'm putting myself in challenges. Like in our group, in our coaching group, in our things, like what is the challenge I can challenge myself with every single week? Like I didn't do that stuff before. Like I
Yeah.
naturally sort of did, but not to this level. And the fear of failure is so much more reduced that it's like if you don't ask, you don't get.
Yeah.
So ask, just keep asking and asking, asking, and ask, and then you don't get. It's fine, but at least I asked. So
Yeah. I love it.
before, when I was in corporate, like I said, it was under promise over deliver. So I didn't fail.
Yeah.
I wouldn't let myself fail because I would always under promise. So I
Yeah.
looked like I was always succeeding, but
Yeah.
yeah. So what
This
about
and
you?
the thing that I got from corporate is because of working with so many people in corporations and especially women who were giving so much. And I would at one point coach people and how to get raises, and I was so baffled as to how powerful these professionals were. And how difficult it was for them to fall out of line. How dare they think for themselves and value themselves? What we already told you what your value was, didn't we? That type of stuff, and it was very interesting. But just to live up to my word and answer those two questions for me, I feel like I get bored of stuff. I have ADHD. So, I think most entrepreneurs do. And so I think what really keeps me reeled in is that romance that I have with fear. We play together and she's become a friend. And I feel like if I'm not shitting in my pants, I'm not living, the thing. And sometimes you need to take a break from the diarrhea. So there's periods of rest, there's seasons of rest. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that, but I think that I feel like it's become a heartbeat. And
Yeah.
it's a romance with it. So I'm not saying I don't want to be that person who says to God, give me patience without saying, give me patience with grace. And then you get all of the opportunities in your life to do patience. I want to be like, no, I want all of my work to be graceful. I
Yeah.
want to be on the grace plan, not the push and the shove plan that I've done
Yeah.
most of my life. So I'm not saying that, but I have learned to appreciate fear. And I've noticed that she's not really coming for me to follow her. She
Yeah.
wants to be led and she wants me to play because sometimes I just get scared and then she doesn't know what to do with herself. She's like, I don't know. I just came here to play. She's scared of me. I don't know. That's the one thing. And the other thing with mistakes is that I will talk a big game about being okay with mistakes and you learn from mistakes more than that. And I cognitively understand it and I accept it cognitively. But when I do make mistakes, I want to be honest that in the first go, I do get like, oh yeah, I made a mistake. Like I have the freak attack
We're human.
and like a tiny bit of like a sprinkle of shame and blame. But to me, all of that is it's just like an opportunity to come back into love.
Yeah.
That again is like a romance where I have to a little bit fall out of my grace with me to be like it's almost like you need the villain to for the
Yeah.
hero. So
Yeah.
for my hero's journey, I kind of need all that villain stuff. Do you know
Yes.
what I'm
I do. I do. I do. I do. Exactly. Exactly. But I love what you said about romance with fear. I mean, I'm
saying?
gonna have to steal that.
Oh, please do.
I
Please
cannot.
go ahead.
So good.
Does it feel like a romance inside you too?
For sure. For sure. I know that that's like my draw with speaking also. Like you and
Yeah.
I both are in the speaking path
Yes,
and
we
like want
are.
to
We're
push ourselves.
speakers.
We're speakers. Exactly. And that is definitely my romance with fear because
Yeah.
getting on that stage feels so good
Yeah.
and it's so scary at the same time.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's like it's such an adrenaline rush. And I love it, but it's definitely that. I love that romance with fear. That's cool.
Yeah. So
Well,
that's really
awesome.
good. Yeah.
Thank you so, so much. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I just so appreciate you doing this with me. It
Yeah.
means
It
so
was
much.
so much fun. We have to keep doing it. I
Okay, great.
really love, and just this conversation, I just feel like I learned so much. I don't know who else is learning, but I really love it. Do these videos go somewhere where people can access them?
Yes, I'm going to post it on Instagram and I'll tag you in it. And so
Okay, do that.
it will get posted, and I'll collaborate with you on the post. And yeah, it'll be there.
All
So
right.
thank you
Love it.
so much. I really
Thank
appreciate it.
you.
Let's do this again. Have a great day. Have a great
Absolutely. Take
weekend.
care.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.